Hey guys, welcome to Clockwork, Dan to Noodles for another breakdown of Spy X Family episode number 11 of season 2 part 2. We have one more episode to go. We're nearly at the end of the full anime season. It's been a long one and I can't wait to bring to you guys 2 videos coming out. Winter overview video going out on Monday. I'm going through all of the stuff coming our way, all the cool titles that are replacing our full stuff, and then I'm also going to go through the videos I'm breaking down on the channel. I think one of them is going to start quite soon, so I need to get my butt moving, but that will go out on Monday. And in a week's time we're going to have my end of season where I'm going to crown my top 3 animes of the season and give us some fun anime awards. It's been an awesome season and I really can't wait to share with you guys my thoughts. And I really hope that you guys are looking after yourselves and getting ready for the festivities that are closing in on us quite quickly now. So let's get straight to it. You could probably view these out of order. I always like to think that these episodes are given to us with a theme, and I think this week's theme is certainly simping and what it means to be a simp. Becky first. Becky is absolutely hilarious because she is my namesake. I love the fact that her assistant seemingly can actually read her thoughts and understands exactly what's going on because she's been with Becky since birth and she's perhaps looked after her the longest. She's able to actually understand roughly what Becky's thinking, despite the fact that it's actually the telepath in the room who can't understand Becky this week, which is hilarious because Becky's brain starts to produce random symbols because she is so enamored, because she is so overcome with her love for Loid. She can't even process words properly and it comes out as symbols. But I do love Anya's interpretation of the symbols. They are so funny. The old guy and tic-tac-toe is perhaps one of my personal favourites. At one point, not really being on any side, but then when Becky presents her reasons why she would make a much better mama, suddenly Anya being swayed by food and good chefs was just typical Anya. Her allegiance switches and she joins the dark side very, very quickly for the idea of decent food. A bit of good food would probably sway me too. I love that Anya becomes a very determined wingman. She tries to get her dad involved. Let's talk to each other. Let's actually do this because I want you to stand some random chance in your delusions. Fueled by the idea of romance, and honestly could see her becoming a very good romance author in the future, despite the fact her family have probably got other ideas for her. Let's talk about Loids VA too, in the sequence where she's like falling in love with him, and it's just how much that VA puts into his every line is just hilarious. He really does go all out, and I love the fact that he's all, oh Becky, I love you too. He's really going all in these things, and you can tell that the voice actor is having so much fun, and it really does come across in his delivery, which I think is absolutely amazing. The conversation being built on misunderstandings on both sides is funny because it does kind of make sense, and then Anya's in the middle getting both sides of the argument, but also kind of making sense. She's interested in me. He wants to know all about me when obviously there is a double meaning for everything that Loid does. He's actually trying to assess whether her family are starting to build towards the heavy industries that would be needed if there was a war coming. The Blackwells are not actually financing a war right now or heavy machinery. It does make sense that she would be someone of interest to Loid if he's trying to get a feel for what's going on with these big families and what they're actually gearing towards. Papa and Mama are already married was a hilarious one-liner from Anya. This week, Anya sidelined to being more of the side character, the wingman for her potential new delusional mummy. I do also appreciate the comic interjections. The thing that I think Spy X Family does very well is its level of comedy, the way that it's able to make almost anything absolutely hilarious. It can go from serious to funny in a breakneck speed, I would say. Becky's trying to do the whole, I'm going to swish my hair and he's going to fall in love with me thing. All I could really think about from the entire sequence, apart from the fact that they both look a little bit weird in front of Loid, and you can see Loid's face is going, okay then, I don't know what's going on. Have you ever seen Wicked, the musical, where Galinda's all like, I'm going to show you how to be fabulous and popular, and it's toss. Insanity to Galinda, who is really living the moment, really actually, I'm serious about this, all about toss. You toss your hair back and forth. She's really into it. The whole moment was just reminding me of that. Perhaps Becky would be a very big Galinda fan. Loids' reactions though are always the best. Him pulling his best Frankie face at this point, just literally stuck in the middle of these kids being kids, children who are playing some very wild, elaborate game. Perhaps the idea of romance. Becky's watched a few too many romance movies. Yor was actually the one trying to get Becky on side, trying to be like, oh, this is amazing. I completely support this. Of course, it's always the way that the mum thinks it's cute and she endorses it, whilst Loid is the one who's completely clueless, going, I have no idea what's going on right now. Yor calls Loid lovely. I think my heart fluttered because I am all aboard the Loid train. I love Loid. I think he's an amazing character, but I do also want to see the two grow closer together. I don't think they are really making much growth on the getting closer thing, but it is nice to see that Yor does think Loid is lovely, and I love that. And I love the fact that she also appreciates the fact that somebody else can see great things in Loid as well. So I like that, because sometimes if you like something so much, then to see somebody else go, actually, I also like that thing a lot, it does make you feel better, because you really like the fact that something that means a lot to you is starting to get the recognition that it deserves. So I really did appreciate that sequence too. Really do hope at some point that we do get a bit more movement on the romance front. Surprising to see Becky being absolutely honest with Yor declaring her love and intentions to marry Loid as well. Obviously, Yor brushes it off, plays it for what it is. She's a girl who is honest with her feelings, so you've got to at least give her that much. It did lead to a very honest conversation between the two, which was really, really nice. Becky chucking money at her problems, the world that she's actually living in, just throwing money at the guy. And earlier, when she was looking around the house, saying that Anya's room was so small, and the first thing she would do if she was to marry Loid would be to move them into a castle. Money must be really funny in a rich man or rich girl's world. Just a level of difference between the way that Anya is being brought up and Becky is being brought up. And I wouldn't say Anya is also being brought up in a poor circumstance. She's actually being brought up in a very well-off circumstance, because obviously Loid needs to get her up with the bigwigs to find out what's going on. Loid this week being dragged around by the complete craziness of this week's episode, just reduced down to his bean eyes, which are pretty damn cute. The level of crazy just eventually just kind of breaks him, and he's just sat there going, okay, I don't know what I just witnessed, I'm just gonna roll with it. The fact that he doesn't question why she is super, super strong, you do wonder why Loid's not more suspicious of Yor. The fact that she is super strong and can jump like crazy. There's a lot of points where I feel like he should be more suspicious of her, but for the sake of the show, he isn't. Becky then wanting to train under her enemy, then one day to usurp Loid, is a movie in itself. One day maybe we will get a movie from Becky's perspective, and it'll be this huge fanfic. See it being quite a decent OVA or something released from Becky's perspective. It's just that level of crazy that I have come to expect from the show itself. The last chunk now, and there were plenty of comparisons drawn during the first chunk between Becky and Nightfall or Fiona, how crazy the two really are. Both of them are helplessly in love with Loid. Both of them are also ridiculously underpowered when it comes to the idea of Yor. Fiona is a very strong character, and even she has been bested by Yor, and Yor wasn't even trying, which is absolutely hilarious, because I will never forget the moment where I think it's the ball just disintegrates, because Yor is just that powerful, and just Fiona's face and dropping to the floor, because the entire episode with the tennis wasn't my favourite episode or anything, but it does show you the absolute level of crazy that Fiona really is. You'd expect nothing less, because she is Nightfall's prodigy. She studied under him. He essentially was her teacher, so you can see that a lot of his teachings have rubbed off on her, and she's very diligent when it comes to it. It's interesting to see what Loid would have been doing if he hadn't been on vacation, and it seems like another very important mission that, of course, Nightfall undertakes and looks her absolute best doing. I love her hair. I think the hair in the outfit stands out really well. She's that character who looks cold. You just look at her, you don't really want to mess with her. I love the use of the warm colours from the vacation to overlay with the cold blues of the Moonlight, the Nightfall mission. The two are beautiful comparisons, just the difference between having a vacation with Loid and then her actually doing the mission that Loid would have been taking part on if he hadn't been there. The blue really, really suits her. Blue can be a very cold colour, sometimes puts on as her front. Most of the time she comes across as very, very cold, but blue is also a very deep colour. It contains a lot of complexities, which the character really does hold. Even if they were super strong, even stronger than Yor, I doubt that would even sway Loid, because Loid is all in it for the mission, and his mission right now includes having Yor as a partner. All the simps in the episode are not taking that into account. So Becky doesn't take into account how people feel when it comes to the idea of love. Oh, he's just trying to find out what I like. In her head, it doesn't matter that he's already with somebody. It doesn't matter how he feels. It's all about, oh, he will like me because I'm fabulous. I like that level of confidence she has. She's a very good level of confidence. Love at a bit of a flat value without having any of the complexities, but again, she is just a child, so love to her is what is portrayed on the movie screen, which we all know is essentially a polished version of what love is, and love is a very complex feeling in general that can't be summed up by Hollywood. I like the fact that Becky has a very flat version of what love is, and of course our simp Fiona I think would have more chance, but she's also a very interesting character who doesn't quite have the grasp on how things work, and the fact that Loid is only doing it because he has a mission, and she still thinks that she would be the better wife. It's not really that point. That's not what Loid actually needs during the mission or anything. I absolutely love the montage where we've seen all the bits and pieces from the vacation playing out, and we've actually got Fiona going through the most extreme training regimens just to try and gain some kind of power up to put her on some kind of footing when it comes to Yor. Both Becky and Fiona seeing Yor as a obstacle in her own right, and poor Yor is just oblivious to everything. You can see when she's confronting Loid at the end how sleep deprived she is. She's got bags under her eyes. Loid also picks up on this. Also giving her the souvenir might have just been a thank you for doing this. I appreciate your hard work. You've also done the mission that I would have had to do. It's love, love, love. And I absolutely love the fact that she's skipping along. She then does the bow when people are around. And then as soon as the people are out, shot again, she's hopping in the air doing I love him. I love him. He's amazing. Plot has gone back down to doing these mini features, as I call them, little mini episodes rolled into one. They don't further the plot or anything, but it does explore how certain characters feel and helps develop the characters on the side. I appreciate, because a lot of shows don't put a lot into their side characters, but Spy X Family does. We've only got one more to go. It's all going to be coming down to the last episode now. I really can't wait to show you guys my top 3 and run you through my overall thoughts on the season. In the last episode next week, I will go through my overall score for the season as a whole, give you my final thoughts on Spy X Family. But if you want to see what I think of all of this season as a whole, tune into the end of season review. Thank you guys so much. I wish you guys a very happy Christmas. If you don't see any of my other videos, there will be a Christmas video going up on Christmas. And of course, Zom 100 is dropping all 3 of its episodes at once. So I'm breaking them down on consecutive days, so you will get 2 videos on Christmas. There is no rest for me on Christmas Day. But thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate your continued support. Have a great day, guys. Bye bye.